Welcome back for episode 9 of Following Freak Show, a show dedicated to discussing last night's episode of American Horror Story Freak Show. I'm your moderator, Perry Nemroff, and here are our panelists.
Hi, I'm Alexis Sarala.
Hi, I'm Meg Patterson.
So Sasha's not with us this week because of some internet troubles, but we'll all be back for episode 10, which is the last episode before the holiday break, and then we've only got 3 more left. But right now we're talking about episode 9, which is called Tupperware Party Massacre. And in that one, Dandy kind of does just that. He has his very own Tupperware Party Massacre and just takes his violent behavior to a whole new level. And then, meanwhile, back at the Freak Show, Jimmy's busy drowning his sorrows in alcohol, and the twins are kind of coming to terms with the fact that they're stuck together for life no matter what. But we're going to start the conversation off with Jimmy. So, Meg, what do you think about what he experienced this episode?
I think I don't really love the way they're taking his character. Obviously, he's having some struggles, probably to do with the death of his mom, and also I think he still has some residual Meep sorrow mixed in there, so he's just kind of stuck in this horrible place, and he's doing this whole thing with I'm a Wiggles, and I mean, it's nice to see him doing that, but then when you realize, oh wait, he stinks of alcohol, then it's not really him being his true character. So it's kind of depressing to watch him sink. And then you have his father, Dell, writing this letter to him where he's either can't cope with who he is because he's gay or because he killed Ma Petite and he's not coming to terms with it. So the whole struggle between the two of them, I'm hoping we see some character development out of this, because both of them, by the end of the episode, I couldn't buy it and I couldn't stand it.
I kind of like the parallel between the two, between Jimmy feeling responsible for Meep and Dell feeling responsible for Ma Petite, but in completely different ways, and seeing how they dealt with it. I think it kind of just goes to show that Jimmy is the stronger person of the two, but I'm kind of with you on that. After everything Dell has done, and after American Horror Story Freak Show has played this game with a lot of characters time and time again, where they keep trying to redeem them and then have them doing despicable things all over again, it's like, I kind of don't know if I could buy Dell hanging himself and then feeling bad about everything. Like, I don't know whether I can feel for him or not at this point, but no, it's a show, and I want them all to come together. So there's a big part of me that's just like, oh, Dell, okay, maybe you could do it this time.
I think that a lot of the reason Dell hung himself, as revealed in the conversation with Ethel's ghost, was more about him still denying his inner freak and asking Ethel how she deals with having it on the outside, you know, not being able to hide it. Though I still think it was a little out of character. I didn't buy that he would have all this remorse. Just the way that he's been presented is he's done a lot of bad things, and Ma Petite is really just the tip of the iceberg.
You can't really come back from killing her. I did like that they included some of the dead characters in, you know, flashback vision type form. Because it just, you know, it keeps it fresh in your mind, and it doesn't just, you know, write it off as another American Horror Story kill and then let's forget about it. But,
that's
you know, it also does make, I think, Dell's situation a little easier to buy when you see her right there and you see how she's affecting him to a degree. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence by how he's changing and how Elsa's changing. So those are two people that have just done these awful, terrible things, and the show keeps expecting us to kind of forgive them and go along with where they're heading now. And, you know, again, part of me can't help but to do it because I want that to happen, but if we're assessing the season and not just the episode, I mean, it's a bit of a leap.
Right. And my other thing with Jimmy is, why is he all of a sudden not even thinking about Elsa, and he was so suspicious of her? So
the show's been having a hard time with that, with bringing things up one episode and then dropping it the next.
Yeah.
Although they did carry I'm a Wiggles over
well, that's
pretty well. That was one ridiculous scene with some of the best dialogue of the show, I will say.
Very true.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the twins now. Alexis, what do you think about where they're at this point?
Well, I think that was you know, really touching moment when Bet offered to die for Dot, because of course, I mean, when you think about it, there's no way they can ever be separated, because they'd be each have half a body. Like, they would have to put the head on someone else, I guess. Not that that's even possible in this day and age. But so the niceness of them coming together as sisters and then actually embracing their freakness in comparison to Dell, who like couldn't face his freakness. You know what I mean? Like, they came together and realized that as a duo, they can be okay. And then they went to Jimmy, and I thought Jimmy treated them very sensitively. I thought that was actually a nice Jimmy moment, though, of course, he ultimately rejected Dot's offer of love. That
must have been like one of the greatest scenes of the entire season. Mm-hmm. That was kind of one of the first times that I think we got raw, honest emotion, even beyond the whole freak concept. It was just, you know, three real people talking about how they feel about each other. And I mean, I totally bought it, and God, did I feel bad for Dot when he walked out.
Yeah. No, but then when Bet held her hand,
oh. Yeah, oh my gosh.
That did make me feel better. It's so nice to see them being sisters, because, like, you know, we've had some fun with the idea of them being stuck together but having completely different goals from day one. But I think there's just so much more potential in the two of them being friends and working together and, like, using what they have to their advantage.
Yeah, I just worry that now they're in some sort of depression. They're going to go back to, you know, this doctor, the fake doctor, and the evil plan. And
I don't know. Do you think they're going to bring back that doctor? Was it kind of like a one-shot deal? I mean, I guess that it does need some sort of payoff, but I wouldn't put it past the show to kind of introduce a character like that and then never bring him up again.
That's true. That's very true.
Like, who was Desiree's guy?
Welcome to Jamal Warner.
Who legit just said, like, hello, and that was it.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's definitely coming back, I think.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's coming back. I just hope he comes back, like, ASAP and has some serious purpose, because if he doesn't come back soon, I'm going to forget that he exists. Because actually, one question I had was, I mean, honestly, I might have totally forgotten about this, but when did the twins disappear a second time?
Oh, they brought that up last episode. Ethel told Elsa, I've hidden them away somewhere.
Oh, yeah, she wrote in a note to Jimmy, like, go get them. They're in some motor hotel down in somewhere in Florida.
Because she had overheard the plotting between Elsa and what's his name? The fake Hollywood
Stanley.
Stanley.
It's hard to keep track of his name because he has so many fake ones.
Exactly. I'll just call him Dennis O'Hare. We'll leave it.
What'd you think about his thing?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I kind of had a feeling that's what it was, but that's weird. That I'm like, what do you think about his thing? I guess that's kind of appropriate. But and like, can they ever even show his thing?
I read in some interview that I think it was with Ryan Murphy that, like, he said that, you know, we're going to push the boundaries because they can't technically show anything. He's like, but we're showing you as much as we possibly can. So I'm wondering if the gesturing that they showed last night is about as far as they can go, because even that, like, there were a lot of really pushed far, crude moments last night that I was like, how are they getting away with this? But
yeah, there was some bloody stuff.
Well,
actually, and lots of butt.
Yeah, lots of butt and lots of sexual things that I was.
What a perfect transition to start talking about Dandy and his butt, because Finn Wittrock has, like, a very nice looking butt.
For a murderer, yeah.
That's one of, like, the main issues with his character, and I mean it in a good sense, is that Dandy has no problem, and the actor playing him obviously has no problem at just turning on the charm and making it consistent with the kid who is throwing his temper tantrums and also being a violent maniac. Yet at the same time, when they open that door to the house and he's standing there and he's like, my car broke down. Can I please use your, like, yeah. I bought it. I mean, if
totally.
even knowing what Dandy was capable of, if he showed up at my door and asked me that, I'd probably let him in.
Especially if, what color is that dress? Is that periwinkle? It was perfect.
I was really swayed by that. I like how he goes about his business too, because it's not in the way you might expect. Like when he was trying to reason with Gabourey Sidibe's character and almost get her on his side, first of all, I didn't expect him just not to kill her like that. I didn't try to negotiate with her in a way. And then second of all, when she said no, like what killer like that would ever let someone just walk out the door? But I mean, he apparently has a plan. I feel like this is Dandy's way of maturing, and I kind of like it.
Well, until the whole I'll pay you $1 million to shoot her, and then boom, done. What do you want now? That was nuts. I don't know that I bought that part.
Well, I mean, I would buy it. I mean, that cop is already, we've seen him as an asshole before, so I think.
Very true.
And $1 million.
And sadly, sadly, a lot of people would do a lot of things for $1 million.
Especially in the 50s, yeah, I suppose.
I am looking forward to seeing what Dandy's capable of with a sidekick of sorts.
That was interesting, the moment with Regina that he wanted her to get in the bathtub with him. It's like he does want, even though he wants to kill people, he also wants the followers. He wants to be that god that, and not even god, he just wants a companion, I think. I think he realizes he should maybe not have killed his mom and turned her into a puppet.
Do you think, though? Because, like, I wonder, on the one hand, he needs a companion, so maybe he does regret killing Gloria in that respect, but on the other hand, he's so much happier and so much more confident without her, and it's just so clear that he can handle this on his own, in a way, but I guess it's not at the same time if he needs someone else.
That's true. I did kind of sickly want to see what would happen if Regina had stayed, and maybe not gotten in the bath, but, like, had kind of played along with his game, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I would have liked that just because I wanted more of Gabourey Sidibe. I mean, it was really a throwaway character. She didn't need to be on the show at all. She served no purpose.
No.
I mean, I don't even think she moved Dandy forward at all. You know, he would have eventually found a partner.
Yeah.
She really got, like, the worst dialogue in the show, too. There was, like, nothing interesting about anything she said.
No. Even when she ran away, he, like, lunged at her, and he was like, no, get out of here, get out, and she kind of lunged and squealed. It was so sad, and I know she can act, so it just pissed me off.
It's crazy. I mean, Dandy has a habit, Finn Wittrock has a habit of out-acting everybody around him, and I feel like the only person who was able to be his equal on the show was his mother, Frances Conroy, and now she's gone, so, you know, I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Although Emma Roberts and him had a really nice scene at the beginning of the episode that I liked.
True.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And she maybe recognized his voice. I hope she's out.
I'm surprised that her and Jimmy hadn't talked about that. You would think she would know right away.
Right.
All right, let's go into rapid fire time now, the point in the show where we get to talk about what we're looking forward to most in the episode to come. And I've got my fingers crossed this time for more of the supporting characters. So what FX does is right before the new episode airs, they release images from the episode. And this week, I want to say every single image they released was of, you know, Paul, Eve, all the supporting characters, like the minor freaks. And I got so pumped because I'm like, this is going to be another episode like, what was it called? Bullseye, the one with the wheel. It's going to be one that focuses mostly on them. And clearly that didn't happen. Now, I did like the episode, but, I mean, honestly, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get more of them. So that is what I'm hoping for. And it's kind of got to happen fast because, in particular, I really wanted an Amazon Eve episode, and I think with only 4 episodes left, that might not be possible anymore, which is a little disappointing, but I don't know. I'm hoping, like, Eve and Paul and Legless Susie, they all get some sort of big payoff where they're responsible for whatever happens at the end of the show, but we'll see. Alexis, what do you got for us?
Yeah, that would be nice. I agree with all what you just said. I guess, I'm just curious, the wrap-up of all this, like, is it going to be more about Dandy's story? Is it more about the Freak story? You know, is the Freak show doomed, I guess, is my question. Doomed. There's a lot that we need to figure out, and we only have a few short episodes to do it, so I assume it's going to be a lot more deaths in the coming weeks.
How about you, Meg?
I always read way too much into the preview, and they show Naomi Grossman, who plays the Pinhead, I don't know her actual name, but they show her crying over her brother, and we know that she was in Asylum, and we know that Sister Mary Eunice is coming back, and then this coming week. So I'm kind of curious to see where they take that whole connection, and like what happens to the brother. Does she take Naomi away to the asylum, and that's where she shows up? And I don't know how they would actually connect her with Elsa, so because she was another sister, so maybe that's just totally separated. And then I heard rumors about something to do with Dandy being connected to Bloody Face, but I don't know. So that's all speculation, and I'm hoping maybe I'll get a hint at that this coming week because I love hearing about this whole connection thing.
I feel like I read that too with Dandy and Bloody Face, but there was some very logical reason why that couldn't be possible that I found as well.
There was something with Zachary Quinto, and like maybe Zachary Quinto's his dad or something with the inbreeding, but like that doesn't make sense if it was in the 50s and
the years don't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess their behavior does make sense. I'm really looking forward to seeing Sister Mary Eunice come on, and like I'm betting she takes Pepper away.
Right. Oh, and we
still see what happens.
We still haven't seen Neil Patrick Harris and his husband. They're coming on.
That's so true.
I think they're not coming on until the very last episode.
I think they're separate episodes too, aren't they? I think one is in the last episode and one is in the second to last episode. Lots of good stuff to come.
Let's see what happens with Theo Huxtable.
Yes, that too.
All right, so that's a wrap on Following Freak Show Episode 9. Don't forget to keep an eye out for new installments the day after every episode of American Horror Story airs on Collider. We love reading your comments, so keep leaving your topics and ideas in the comment section below, and maybe we'll discuss your thoughts next time. So thank you so much for following Freak Show with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.